Y'all, Irix guy here, and I want to talk about to be cautious when you're using a DJI Phantom. This could be a DJI Phantom 1, DJI Phantom 2, DJI Phantom 2 Vision Plus, when you're using it near salt water. Now, if you're not already familiar with salt water, you know that a beach has sand on it. Now, that sand is very abrasive to begin with. So if you've got a camera lens or something like that, you run the risk of scratching the lens and degrading your image quality. But also, sand blows around, especially when it's dry, and it can get up in the crevices of the camera and or the Phantom, and it can create problems. So what I recommend doing, if you do use your Phantom near the beach or anywhere where there's sand and or just saltiness in the air, be sure to the best of your abilities at the end of that day, with a damp cloth, not wet, but just damp, be sure to wipe off the exterior of the Phantom, any parts around the camera. Just wipe that off, because even sand, even salty air that has made contact with that device, the camera and or the Phantom, it could potentially create rust. You know that if you've ever put a piece of, or for example, you go out in the water and you find go out in the ocean, you find an old beer can or something, and it's all rusty. That's because of the salt. So take care of your Phantom and use that, not wet, but just a damp washcloth, and just kind of be sure that it's wiped off really thoroughly before putting it into storage. Because otherwise, you may, if you don't fly it every day and maybe wait a few weeks or so, open it up, you may find a rusty surprise. So don't pack it up when it's wet. I mean, if it's a little bit damp or whatever from flying near the ocean, be sure to put it out in a dry place. You know, let it sit there in the sun, and just kind of, not the sun where it's too hot to where it's going to melt it, but let it sit in a warm and dry and breezy environment, and just kind of dry off before you get that damp cloth, and just kind of wipe it off, because that'll help prolong your investment. You know, when I deal with all this technology, I like to take care of the technology, because it's easy for someone to make an expensive mistake. And fortunately, the only thing that I've destroyed to this date in regards to camera equipment is a cheap monopod that I had, and I took it out in the Virgin Islands and went snorkeling with it, and it rusted shut because I failed to let it dry, and I failed to wipe it off with a damp washcloth with fresh water. So I hope this video is of value. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, youtube.com/IrixGuy, and share this video and any of my videos with others. Y'all have a good day.